Warning: the following is intended for immature adult audiences. Please do not attempt any of the stunts or activities mentioned in this podcast, future podcasts, or previous podcasts. The Joshua Tree Pachysaurus Meat Whistle Victory Dance. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. Happy 1 year to the Dump and Skate podcast. What's up, Beer League hockey fans and fellow dumpers? Welcome to another unedited, unfiltered, worldwide Dump and Skate podcast, the #1 Beer League hockey podcast in the Bluffton, Hilton Head area, Pooler, Georgia, Aurora, Oswego, and Naperville, Illinois areas, and the countries of Israel, Canada, Colombia, Bosnia, and we just found out Saudi Arabia. Shout out to Ahmed Adudi, and also our child, Broderick Dennis. Kisses, my dude. On the pod.
You're frozen. Your connection sucks so bad today. They must have run over your internet connection when they were cutting
Social
the grass.
media content creator, official video and audio editor, the broken, old, and decrepit bender, infamous ball buster, the podcast graphic designer and merch creator. I am the admin's bitch and sounding board, Jeremy, the dry heaving unicorn Abdu. F you, Packard and Pepper. With me, as always, the man that makes this podcast possible, as of right now, once a month, the only producer that doesn't do any editing, the talent of the podcast, but not on the ice, the most loyal friend and brother that will always have your back on and off the ice, the team dad, the one I used to nag about uploading podcasts, but now I have to nag about doing an actual podcast, hashtag once a month. Jeremy, the showstopper. And when I say showstopper, I mean when he called out Packard from continuing his locker room dance howling.
You know, that was on my list of podcast topics, was to talk about that. We'll get through this intro and then we'll circle back to that. Oh man,
I'm at a duty. I'm sorry if I froze. I'm sorry if it came in. I don't know what's going on with the internet.
It's super bad. It's rough looking from my end, so no worries. What is up? That's all right. What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all shapes, sizes, and flavors? Welcome into your favorite Beer League podcast, the one and only Dump and Skate podcast. We have had a ton of stuff going on lately, and we've only, I think, shot one podcast, but we've done a couple of live podcast broadcasts. Had a lot of fun with those. Got a little squirrely probably on the last one, but had a really good time. Got to send the GSU guys out with a bang. Had a really good time with those guys, and just really fortunate to be able to support those guys in their first season. So it was really good. Your picture looks way better now all of a sudden, so I don't know what's happened.
So what I did is I checked the inline rotary girder of the Section 3. I'm just trying to sound like
perfect
Tommy Boy.
There you go. So yeah, thanks for joining us, folks. As Abdu said, we are officially 1 year old. We appreciate all you guys that have been following us for the last year, and those of you who've kind of picked up along the way. Really appreciate that, and appreciate you guys. In doing this for a year, we've kind of met some more people, and so one of our normal things to do is to ask you guys to, like, subscribe, follow us on all the different platforms we're on. You can find us on YouTube, anywhere you listen to podcasts, all that good stuff, and then we're on almost all of your social media pages. We've got a page out there, so follow us on all those. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But then also we love giving shout outs to the people that help us, support us all along the way. These are not sponsorships. These are because nobody's giving us any money, but feel free to give us some if you want to. But we want you guys to support these guys because we use them. We think they do a heck of a job, and so we want you guys to know about it as well. So the first one, if you've listened to us for any length of time, you know really well, Be in Our Sports. Hit those guys up, beoursport.com. Whatever you need. I know it's end of the season for us, but a lot of other places that are listening, you guys are just getting ready to close off one season and crank up a summer season. So you need sticks,
Lucky
skates,
bastards.
laces. Yeah, you jerks. Whatever you need, hockey equipment wise, hit those guys up. Let them know that Abdu and Holland sent you. There's no discount for that. Just tell them that we sent you. That way they may like call us and say, "Hey, way to go! Thanks, guys. We appreciate it." So, but yeah, give those guys a call. Jerseys, whatever you need. They're the guys to go to. So, and then we want to bring up to you guys a new product that we've just kind of run into here in the last month or two. It is a friend of yours, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yep. And so, husband and wife duo that make some hockey stick wax. It's called Whiskey Wax, and see if I can get my
That's good.
stuff to work here. There you
Looks
go.
good.
So it's Whiskey Wax, spelled Wizkey. You can find them on social media at Whiskey_hockey. And they're on Instagram and Facebook. You can order through their
Nope.
Instagram or
Just Instagram.
just Instagram.
Yeah.
All right. Do they have a Facebook page?
I don't think so. The only way you can buy and purchase the stuff is through Instagram.
I swear I thought they had a Facebook page.
Well,
about
maybe
this?
they do, but I think the only way you
Live
can-
on air, we're getting ready to figure this out because I swear to you, I thought I saw something.
I think the only way you can
Yeah, so they don't have a Facebook page. You are correct. So it's just on Instagram. I for whatever reason, I thought it was on. What is this, like 3 times you've been correct about something? I thought it was on. I thought they had a Facebook, but they do have an Instagram, Wizkey_hockey. Great wax. They sent me 2 different flavors. The first is
scents. Let's just
pineapple.
call them scents. No one's
Sense. They pineapple one smells really good. I used it on my kid stick. The other scents they sent me were the whiskey scents, which I wrote back. Tell me her name again. I'm so sorry.
Jessica.
So we had a group chat talking a little bit of product stuff with them and just asking some questions. And I told her that I got the whiskey scented one and I opened it up and it almost knocked me over. It was such a strong smell. So this is the wax. You can see I've been using it. It tastes really, really good. Tastes just like got him good. So it's phenomenal. Makes a good meal supplement. I'm gonna read really quick down. So whiskey wax is a hand poured, locally made. It's made in Charleston, South Carolina. The idea for the wax came because they were getting the protection from the big brands. You know who they are, and then a lot of the waxes you could purchase from the big boxes had questionable ingredients they weren't big fans of. So they wanted a better quality, better protecting wax for beer leaguers. And this is what they came up with. So it's phenomenal stuff. It feels different in your hand than a lot of the big wax. And that's probably one of the things they said that they wanted to get away from was like paraffin wax that's used in a lot of other stuff. You can feel the difference in this versus something that's got paraffin wax in it. Not just in your fingers. You can feel it like if you put it in your mouth, it feels different too. So it's really good wax. I've really enjoyed using it. It makes my bag smell better too.
It does.
So, but yeah, hit these guys up on Instagram. Flood them with some orders. Tell them we sent you their way. Tell them Holland and Abdu, or just better yet, tell them the boys at Dump and Skate sent you their way. I know they'll appreciate it. So, and we want to have them on because they are a husband-wife duo of beer leaguers as well, and so they're passionate about hockey, and that's kind of where this desire to make better wax came out of. So the wax I have is just regular like protectant wax, but they are when I got this sent, she said they were working on a formula for like a super tacky wax, and so I think they have come out with it. I've seen some stuff she's posted where they've got it. They've been, I think, trialing it in their local beer league, like handing maybe a couple cans out to some people and kind of getting some feedback and stuff. So great stuff. Glad to be able to support those guys. And I want you guys to support them as well. So, and then lastly, I'll let you do a little bit of this, but don't forget we've been advertising it here. The Zeros tourney coming up in late August up in Chicago, in Naperville at the All Seasons rink. Abdu, take it away because you know all the info a lot better than I do.
Yeah, so the tournament is August 22nd through the 24th. Registration is now open. If you register before, I want to say June 12th, you get $100 off. Anytime after that, it'll just be, I want to say 16. Don't quote me on the price because it's changed quite often. 16 for 4 games. You're guaranteed 4. Friday, Saturday tournament championship, semifinal and championship. It sounds like depending on how many teams will be on the Sunday. It's just a good chance for everyone just to hang out, try some of the Zeros, meet some of the. It's a meet and greet for the Dump and Skate guys. So I'm looking forward to it. Not only because it's my hometown, really want to get the Zeros. I know Marola likes them. Chelios loves them. I just want to get that up there in Illinois and to the Naperville area. So looking forward to it. Go to allseasonicerinks.com. If you go on our YouTube and watch this, it's right behind my head right now. Then there's ice hockey tab, and then go to summer tournament, and it's right there. And you can register. You don't have to have USA Hockey insurance or anything like that. So, yeah, get a team, get some players, and let's just hang out and play. It'll be a good time. Every tournament that we've done so far has been a good time. So, looking forward to it.
Perfect. Nice. All right, let's get right into the Joshua Tree Sackosaurus story. So, we were playing on a Thursday night in our B level beer league. So it's the equivalent of what you guys back in Chicago would have had, like your C1-ish level, correct?
Yeah, C1,
your
C2
upper level
team.
C.
Yeah.
And so we had a fill-in player, good friend of the show, Josh Packard, and we were super short. And Josh is a good player. Josh plays in our A league, and solid dude. And we are in some of our locker rooms, or co-ed locker rooms, because we do have some girls that play in our B leagues and C leagues and things like that. And after our first season, picked up a girl, Maria, our second season, and for at least half the season, she dressed in the girls' locker room.
Yeah, maybe like 3 games, 4 games, like you said, half the season.
Yeah.
She was dressing by herself. That's just pure loneliness.
Right, which we had said from the get-go, like, hey, look, don't feel like you need to dress, over there. Like, if you want to dress in here, we can talk to the guys. We can be modest about how we get dressed and things like that. And
well, first game of the season, she came in and introduced herself. And I said, yeah, here's the guys. You can come in here if you want and change with us. But there's Willman, like pants down to his ankles, like standing at the urinal, peeing. As she walks in, I go, if you want to come in, she's like, oh, I'm good. Just give me my jersey. I'm good.
She's like, is that what the male body looks like? I'm out.
She's like, why is that bearded lady standing to go to the bathroom? She should be sitting down.
Is she pregnant? How's she playing hockey? She looks like she's going to give birth to triplets any day.
We have a mascot, a hamburger helper mascot.
Does McDonald's sponsor this team? It's incredible. Oh man. So fast forward halfway through the season, she reaches out and she's like, hey, basically, it is pretty crummy getting dressed all by your lonesome. She's like, do you think the guys would mind if I got dressed in the locker room? You were like, absolutely not. Have them, come on over. I'll tell them that you're going to come in there. Everybody can adjust accordingly. And everybody has. I think there was a couple of games and all. So Pat comes in and fills in for us. And Pat goes around the way our locker rooms are set up. There's a big wall that kind of runs down the middle of them. So you can walk around at each end. And when we were getting dressed, Maria was at the very far end of the locker room, and Pat was sitting right at the entrance, walked around to the back side of that wall, changed, got his jock and everything on, and then came back around the other side, finished getting dressed. Well,
he was very aware that she was in the locker room before the game started.
Pregame, yeah. So you guys are all aware where this is headed to. And so did we win that game, or did we tie it or something?
We tied.
We tied the game.
We tied. No, we won because that was a victory dance. That's why I said it was the Joshua Tree Sackus.
Fair enough. All right. So we win a game, and we get back into the locker room, and most everybody, maybe half the locker room had cleared out at this point, and the Pack had been kind of hanging out talking or whatever. And the next thing I know is Pack is, I don't know, 3 chairs into the entrance of the locker room,
Sitting right next to me.
Maria is still down at the far end, like as far down to the other end as you can get. And the next thing I know is there's Pack, sack and all, just hanging out, like drop trowel and completely naked. And I was like, yo, what are we doing here? And so, because I'll usually get undressed similarly, but when Maria there, I'll throw a towel around myself if I'm pulling off everything. And so
he was doing a thrust dance.
Pat goes full nude, right? Full nude, gets all the way undressed, puts his boxers back on or whatever, boxer briefs, pulls them up, and I looked at him and I go, yo, Pack, you're kind of violating our co-ed locker room agreement here. And he looks at me and goes, what? And then starts doing the elephant trunk swing in his boxer briefs. And I was like, yo, Pack, Maria's in here. And about that time, he glances over his shoulder and he realizes, oh my gosh, Maria is there. And he turns bright red and spins back around and sits down.
He wouldn't look her in the eye as she walked behind him. He wouldn't turn around. He just stared at the wall, which was like 2 feet from him. He just stared at the wall. The week later, I made him tell Corey the story, and he goes, Abdu, that was the second most embarrassing moment of my life. So that was
the funnier part of the night was, Maria's husband and mom had come to the game, and it was an early game. We were like, hey, let's go to dinner. And Maria and her husband have gone to dinner with us a couple of times, especially if it's earlier games. And so we were like, hey, let's go out. So they met us at Zunzi's, and we sat, you and me on the end and Pack in the middle on one side of like a picnic table. And right on the other side was Maria sitting dead center of the table staring over at Packard. I don't think Packard looked up from his food but once.
Buried his face into the phone. After a few beers.
It was funny.
I'm going to miss that. Like, okay, so if you live in the Savannah or the armpit of hell, you know that this is the last week of hockey, and it's coming. I'm gonna miss that. It's been a routine of ours for 6-7 months. So I know for the next week or so, it's gonna be nice to just relax and not, because we had 3 10:30 games in a row this past week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Those were rough, brutal. But
yeah. So hilarious.
I think we said a couple weeks from now we're going to miss all of this, but right now it's going to be nice to recover for a bit. Are your kids trying to make a cameo?
No, that's my dogs. The dogs are acting like idiots. Yeah, insanely obnoxious.
But I'm saying your kids.
Yeah, your internet is rough.
Is there a delay going on with me right now?
It's just your internet is such a rough signal. We always listen to it back, and it's like, oh, your internet was fine. It was just on my end. I couldn't hear it. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. Hopefully that was. We did some superlatives since we're closing out our season.
I apologize to our listeners.
As you should.
So
pay for better service. Rich guy.
We got the best service. So we had a goalie. He was from the Chicago area for my Chicago peeps. He was from Rockford. Played with us for the first time, and I go, "Oh, you're from Rockford?" He's like, "Yeah." I go, "Oh, I'm from Naperville."
Pants that you
first
love
thing he goes,
too.
"Oh."
Do you remember his pants? Boo boo guy.
No.
You don't remember his pants? The writing that was on the front of them?
Which pants? No.
It said, "Stop looking at my wiener," but it was written right across the front. Yes, you do. You pointed it out. You were like, look at his sweatpants. He had sweatpants on with writing across the junk that said, "Stop looking at my wiener." You don't remember this? Oh, you're an idiot. All right, go ahead with your story.
Anyways, he said, I go, "Yeah, I'm from Naperville." And he goes, "Oh, guys." And I go, damn it, dude, I don't like you anymore. I don't like you anymore. He was is this
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Abdu has left the podcast momentarily. Hopefully, he'll be back here in just a second. His internet sucks tremendously. So, we're going to keep rolling with a little bit of a solo podcast for just a minute or two until he gets back in. So, he is working his way back in now. We're going to add him back in. And here he is.
I'm really
Everyone.
sorry. I'm real this is
It's
where
bad.
did I leave off?
So the last
Is it
thing
bad
I
right
could,
now?
it's still a little herky jerky, but let's roll with it. The last thing I heard was you were saying that the kid was
Yeah.
from up around Chicago. So try again on where he was from.
So he was from the Rockford area. Is there really? He's from the Rockford area, and I told him that I'm from Naperville, and his automatic response was like, "Oh, you're one of those ritzy guys, huh?" And I go, "Gosh, darn it, I hate
We were
I
like,
hate
yes,
you so much."
yes,
And then,
he is.
I'm not. I am. That's bullcrap because I do not. I do not carry myself that way. As you know, if you go with me to Zunzi's, I don't even want to say it because I don't want to.
Jinx
I
it.
don't want to pinch myself. Yeah, I
You
don't
want
want
to
to jinx it.
out
But if you
yourself.
go with me to, yeah, if you go with me to
if you go with
Zunzi's,
the Zunzi's, I'll pay for your sandwich if you'll call Abdu out the next time for what he does. Right in front of the
So no.
waitress. Dead in
so
front of
let's
the
just get
waitress.
this. Let's just get this clear to our listeners. I do not carry myself like that. I know some people here bust my balls, but I do
Hey,
not
you know
carry
how the
myself
rich,
like
you know how the rich stay rich, right? Pinching them pennies, my guy.
well, I don't have deep pockets, all right? My pockets are
You have frozen pockets
hashtag seven
currently.
jobs. Well, it's because I only got 7 jobs. So, anywho, all right. So yeah,
All right, let's get
I
to
don't even know.
the. I forget what we were
So I
talking
texted
about.
you the other day. I texted you the other day. I
Yeah.
said, hey, let's do something for the end of the season. Let's just
Perfect.
do, beer league superlatives.
Beer
So
League superlatives.
I feel like this is fitting for the end of the season for the Savannah area, but I have some that will also include some of the guys in Chicago, so they're not left out. Some people won't be like, "Why is this all Savannah?" So, do you want to start off first? Do you want me to go first? I have like a lot because I just have
You
a
go
lot of
ahead.
time on my hands.
I think that this is your brainchild, so you go ahead and rattle off the first one because I don't have a
Okay,
ton of them.
I do.
Because I think the format you've got is a little bit different than mine.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna just go with fastest skater. Who would you say is fastest beer league skater that you and I've played with this year? I'll just say when I say this year, like that includes like the travel team and everything like that. Because I was going to say Berlin for sure is a pretty fast skater. If you could just
Berlin's up there. It's hard for me
capitalize.
to gauge it because I haven't seen Berlin skate at the same time as like a Grant or a Pete have
Yeah,
skated, but
correct.
Grant's pretty fast.
That's what I was
And
going to say. Grant down here.
I've also not skated against Berlin, and so that's where it's really hard. Like it's one thing to skate with a guy and be like, oh, that guy can go do the work for you. It's another thing to have to contend with a fast guy, like when you're playing D on him. And I've had to feel the pressure of Grant's speed. And there's a couple other guys around here that are pretty quick that nobody would know, but they're tough to deal with for the same reason, just they're fast. So I said there's several
Yeah.
guys that get that.
I would say Berlin, Grant, and Rossi are pretty fast at their peak speed.
Is this Rossi or Ponton? I can't tell the two of them apart.
That's
Their skating stride is so similar.
their body type.
Body type, their movement on the
Units.
ice, their
Yeah.
puck handling skills,
Their bicycle
so similar.
So the only way I can tell the difference, you can't even tell the difference when they're bleeding because someone had a bleeding lip, someone had a bleeding nose. They're just become one. they're hard to tell. Yeah, that's my answer. I'm gonna like down. I'm gonna say in the Chicago area, Berlin. I think you'll get a chance to see him this summer. Wilkie has a pretty good speed too. You know, when he takes off, he's pretty fast. So
When I take off, I tend to trip over my own feet, and
oh, like you did in the corner.
that was a
what is
stop,
it?
though. That was
Yeah.
a stop that got me. That one was rough. I haven't done that in a
All
hot
right,
minute. All right, so fastest guy, I've described that. All right, you got another one?
I do.
Go ahead, let's get another one in. I didn't hear a word you're saying because everything is jacked up. Try now.
Fucking shit.
I heard
Best
that.
lettuce or best salad?
Ooh. Andy Ponton.
What do you? The only reason
Rob during his
what made me
Bobo
think
the
about this.
the Bobo the Clown phase. Your internet
Before he got his
sucks.
haircut.
Yeah, Rob. You talking about Rob?
What did you hear?
I can't hear anything. I heard you laugh at the Andy thing, and then I heard no response. Your internet sucks. Your internet sucks. Yep. Abdu's internet is doing Abdu internet things. He has left the podcast once again. Abdu's question was best lettuce. I'm pretty sure where he was going was with Grant and his guy lights. Although I would say there's probably some guys with a little better flow out there. John McAlandra's got a pretty good head of lettuce at the moment.
Yeah.
Welcome back. All
Sorry,
right,
I'm really sorry, guys.
yeah, no, it sucks. It's all your fault. So what I had said was Ponton jokingly, and then I said Rob when he had his homeless phase, but again jokingly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I assume you said Grant before he trimmed up the guy lights.
When we did the when skate on Monday when everyone was wearing the wigs, that's what made me think of this. When they were wearing the wigs, and then before Rob got his haircut.
Nice.
So
yeah, the wigs were nice.
I'm thinking Mechaleka High has some good salad. Good.
He definitely has the best flow game currently. Isn't there a what about the kid, the curly headed kid that plays for GSU?
Good salad.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pause this podcast here until we can figure out exactly what's going on with Abdu's internets. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
And
what? You froze immediately. You froze immediately.
Froze again?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Look, you just deal with it. I don't know. I restarted it. So
We are
best lettuce.
We are
John
attempting-
McAlandra.
Yeah, we're attempting to be back here, folks. Best cheddar
I'm
in
sorry.
the league. We're saying is Johnny Mac.
Dwight has some good stuff too.
Yeah, he does. It's true. Call it a tie. Call it a draw.
Yeah. Rob had some good stuff. If he would just let
No.
it, like Mark
No.
Recchi back from when he was just coming out the sides of his ear holes.
No.
Grant has some good stuff. If he was, what's that Will Ferrell figure skating movie?
Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory. Yeah. Grant has the perfect hair for Blades of Glory.
There was a GSU skater that has like the curly fro, but he's like a white kid. So it's like
Yes.
I don't know which kid it is, but it's pretty impressive, and it's like puts on the helmet and is like
Yeah.
yeah.
Like he's a size small helmet, but with his hair, he has to get a
an
custom
extra large.
Yeah, an XL.
custom ear
sure.
guards.
It is like bubble wrap. It's man-made bubble wrap. And if he ever gets knots in his hair and he just starts pulling it, you're gonna have to shave his head.
Yeah.
Hashtag Aiden.
Little
Aiden.
jerk. All right. What's your next? Mine aren't quite as yours are very serious.
No, I got one here right now.
Okay.
The funny ones come later on.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is a positive one. Most improved. There's a guy on my team back home in Chicago, Chris Bensfield. When he first joined us, he was rough. But when I went to go play with him last year, last time I was in Chicago, kid's really good. It's just like there is something to say the more you play, the better you get, unless you're a referee, hashtag the gremlin. You can go out there and be skating, and that is not an improvement. But yeah, Chris Bensfield, man, you improved.
Forgot to tell you, I found that plunger and that water bottle.
You did. Where was it?
Did. They had been thrown off the rink. The plunger broke. I placed them back where they belong.
Most improved. I would say Cooch Daddy. He really made an improvement. His stick handling skills were a lot better. And
he's gotten
the
awfully
dudes,
bold.
He does. He's like, well, someone's got to in the 40-plus team. We're not doing anything. But, man, the dude scored the game-winning goal. Like, he scored a game-winning goal. What did you say? Who was the one guy that can just get a plus minus?
How do you get a plus and a minus in the same shift, Rob? What the heck, dude?
No, but his stick handling's gotten better. You can tell he's a little more comfortable in the 40-plus. He isn't as ballsy in the B League, high risk, high reward. Just shoot it down the middle and hope that it hits you and not the other player. But if it hits the other player, his excuse is high risk, high reward. It would have worked if I didn't pass it to the other guy. I would like to say what Cooch and his broken foot and everything, most improved. I was going to say Gino, but I don't know how you break a rib with no one around you. With
Gino
no one around
be my
you.
recommendation for most improved, actually.
I don't know.
Improved because he quit skating. That's an improvement for the team.
Well, his injury benefited all of us.
Poor guy. Oh, man.
I was going to say, I don't know who else to say for most improved. You might know more than I would, just because you know more of the players. You're there. You see more. I know there's some people that have gotten worse. The trumpet, definitely
definitely worse.
Got the worst. Couldn't hit a park bus.
I'm gonna be goal capped, but not really need to be goal capped. That's perfect.
Couldn't hit a parked bus, but he belongs on the small bus, kind of thing, you know. So,
oh man.
All right. So, who do you think is most improved on your end?
I'd probably go with the ones you said. I think Rob did look a lot better. Him skating with GSU and getting a lot of practice time, which is something, if you ever
Again,
talk
just
to
like
Rob,
I said, the more you skate, the better you can be, unless you're a gremlin.
Well, no, I mean, it's practice specifically. Like Rob admits that he played up through high school and then quit. And I don't even know what level of high school hockey he played at. So who knows what his practices looked like. I mean, if he was just playing house league stuff, then he may not have been getting the best practices. And so what he got run through with playing with Southern was like legit good practices. And so I think he got better because he got put in positions where he had to get better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he also got the practice time on the ice to physically get better. So I think that was a big part of why he did better as the season went on. And he did get a lot bolder with the way he handled the puck, which I'm okay with. I don't mind him doing that. I think a little bit of it was him seeing guys do that, but also a little bit of it was him kind of building some confidence and doing it. So, yeah, I would give it to Rob.
Yeah. This is a podcast question for you. Funniest guest that we've had. Someone that just, I'm going to say give a few. Just,
I don't know. I'd need that cap cut thing you did of all the different people.
All right. Does anyone just stand out? Like, obviously Grant. Grant brought comedy.
The Grant podcast was funny, although the one story was just like terrible. Like I love Grant to death, but he started laughing at his own story and he hit the
Yeah, and we
punchline,
were just
and
like,
all of us were like, "What?"
yeah.
That was good. Um, Grace was a pretty fun one, wasn't? We laughed a pretty
Grace
good
was
bit through that one.
yeah, Grace was a good one.
I'm trying to think who else.
Wookie was a very fun one as well. He just
Wilkie
had
had
good
some good
stories. He just
ones.
brought a lot to the table.
Your buddy James gave a lot of
Liked
pretty
his.
good digs. We had a good. I mean, that's an older one, but there were some good laughs in that one too. You frozen again. We chuckled a good bit when we did the Pete and Rob one. There were a lot of laughs in that one, and we laughed pretty heartily at Rob taking a pee live on air and not muting his mic because he didn't realize his earbuds were picking up the sound still, even when he walked away from the computer or the tablet or whatever. Completely frozen.
I'm
There he is, the
I'm back
Lab-Do
now.
popsicle. Your screen's frozen, but your voice is back. Little
All right,
Lab-Do
that's fine. Let's
popsicle
just deal
over
with
there.
it.
Yeah. So yeah, those are probably some of the funniest. I'd say those are some of the funniest podcast guests we had.
Yeah, the best podcast that we've done in the year so far, I really think, is the prank one. A lot of people like that. So
Yeah, I think there's been some that have been viewed higher, but I would not say those were any more fun.
oh no,
Some of those were stupid.
I'm okay if we just delete that one too.
Yeah, we're good with that one.
Uh,
I've got a good one here.
are you there? Yeah, I got another one. You ready?
Okay, go ahead with yours. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. This is your shtick.
All right, best locker room guy. You said your whole A league.
Ooh.
Your whole A league is a bunch of good people, a fun
Yeah,
locker
but
room.
it's a
I
different.
won't know
Yeah,
any of them.
no, it's a different vibe though than what we have like in some of ours. It's different. Like it's just it's like good guys, good to hang out with kind of thing.
Okay.
But like the locker room vibe we have, like with the travel team, like we're all cutting up and laughing, like everybody's having a good time.
Family, everybody accepts everybody.
Yeah. That's different than what we have in the A League. Like I said, the A League is fun. The guys don't take themselves too seriously in my A League locker room, right? There's some legit, like very good players in there, but none of them step into the locker room like they're, like an all-star or anything like that. They're very down to earth guys. They're just happy to be able to come and play hockey. A couple of them are military guys, and they even said as much. Like they're just happy to be able to play some semi-competitive hockey. They appreciate that and have a good time. So that's why that locker room's fun. They don't take it too seriously. They don't take themselves too seriously either. So hang on.
Like I said, for my Chicago peeps, Wilkie is definitely one of a kind locker room guy. Rossi's a good locker room guy.
I would say TC's a pretty good one. Tommy Condon, he was a good addition to the B League locker room.
Yeah, Tommy Con. Yeah, for sure. Unless he loses his speaker. I
Grant,
thought that was funny. I think that's everybody. Yeah, Grant's a good locker room guy too. Who else? I don't. I'm trying
Pepper.
to think.
Pepper was a
I
great
freeze
locker room
up again?
addition. A little bit, yeah. Pepper was a great locker room addition. Pepper brought the gags in more than one way. Oh no, he left the podcast. Oh my gosh, Abdu's internet sucks today. This is ridiculous. Here he is. We're coming back. He's attempting to get back on. There he is.
So, man, this is really pissing me off. I'm sorry to the listeners because you're stuck listening to Holland and not me. I don't know what's going on. I've
Did you
never
get
had this much problem before.
Did you get the last locker room?
No.
I said Pepper. Because he's got the good gags in more than one
Yeah,
way.
Okay, yeah, okay. Real funny. That's stupid. No. What about best bench guy? Someone that you just love having on the bench.
You're probably the best guy to have on the bench.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, it's you and I got going pretty good a couple
I
times.
didn't think of myself.
You and I got going a couple times this season, giving our own guys a pretty good bit of crap, but like in a very passive aggressive way. Those were some of the funnier ones. Was giving guys crap very passive aggressively, and then I started getting after you. The last game we played, I passed it to you, and you shot. What did I say to you? And you heard me. You just shook your head.
Yeah, I think busting my own teammates' balls is a lot more than your own guys' or the other team's balls.
Yeah, I'd say
about it in the locker room.
Sprints is a great like on the bench guy.
Our new which sprints? The new person on the 40+ team or the old 40+ sprints? Because we acquired a new one.
Yeah. Considering I said Sprints is a great bench guy, I don't think that I would refer to the redhead as a guy. So
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
You guys are wild.
Yeah. Well, Sprints, if you, Mr. Sprints, if you're listening, this is your towel that you've been cut and your wife has made it to the team.
Your official.
We're supposed to put you in the group chat.
Your official notice.
Just give your jersey gloves to your wife and shells.
Helmet, shells, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, he's a good bench guy too. No, you know what? Because he's too sensitive sometimes.
But
you got to calm your boy down. You got to calm your boy down. A man can only take so much.
He did get after us a little bit when we got a little out of control. And that's good to have on the bench.
Again, he's the kind of guy that plugs his ears, screams, and just goes,
plugs his ears, covers his eyes.
Makes it stop.
No, I'm good, guys. I'm good. No, I'll go back out in the locker room. Call me when you have a towel on.
Shake is a good bench guy, too, because last year I remember said, if you guys don't score, I'm sending you all dick pics. And Shake goes, well, I'm not going to score then. So...
Speaking of Shake, I created a superlative just for Shake.
All right, let's do it.
So this is for the guy that is most likely to skate in and stand in the goalie's crease during your prime scoring opportunities.
Most guy to get a goal waved off at the critical part of the game. That was we talked about that on the podcast. That was a fun one too. Shout out to Shake. He's sounds like he's going to be leaving the league. So I'm bummed out we couldn't get one more game with him.
He's got to do sounds like a potential deployment of some sort, but he's not leaving. So he's got a house, and I talked with him. He's got a house in the area. So his plan is not to leave unless they move him stations, which he said there's a chance that happens. He said, but he's thinking right now he's okay, but he is probably going to have to go on a deployment, so he's going to be out of pocket probably for the vast majority of next season. So that's a bummer because I was enjoying it. I don't know Shake's hockey background, but he is one I'd argue is improved. I don't know that I'd call him most improved, but he's improved.
No, but his background is from bubble hockey. That's why there was no offsides. There was no goalie interference or anything.
He's used to spinning people on a stick or something. Yeah. Oh man. And then I have another one that's very, very person specific here. It's kind of a long superlative. You'll kind of get where we're going here. So this is for the player that you think is most likely to freak out on a referee in his regular league game, and then immediately mouth off to the same referee as he fills in during the next game, subsequently getting ejected, and then the very next night actually refereeing a game himself and absolutely bumble farting a call to what some would call completely turn the tide of the game. That is the superlative for all of that mouth word salad goes to the one and only Joshua Tree
Packosaurus. Packosaurus. That was like, I even said, like, well, for the record, he got kicked out of our game when we needed a sub. We were at 10, and Cooch was like, "Can Pack play?" And I was like, "Perfect. Pack is great." We had Pack and Lindsay subbing with us, and I go,
hang on. To be fair, Pack and Lindsay only gave us 9.
Yeah. And I go, "You know what, Cooch, if you're going to get a sub, can you just make sure if he's going to get kicked out to do it in the third period? Not in the first, not the first shift, not his first shift.
First shift in the first period, yeah.
His first shift." And he just goes, "Fuck you, Chip, you old fuck." And then you just hear, you just hands on the hips, "You're gone. Good, more beers for me, you old shit."
I'll sit in the stands and call you names from the stands. I could sit there all night. Oh no! Actually, you cannot do that anymore. Don't do that, please.
Well, that's going to be my follow up then. Most likely to be in the penalty box. Like, who can you count on to just be in the box? I got a few.
Mickey the Mouse.
Oh, the mouse for sure. I talked to his captain the other day, and they said in his last game, that was one of the times where I was really happy he was in the box for a penalty.
Yeah, he was involved in a pretty major collision there at the very last game. That was, and apparently looked at people and was like, "What did I do wrong?" You body checked the guy, like got a running start and flattened the guy. I will say, and I think he missed a lot of the second season, but probably most improved in that area.
Yeah.
Would be our guy. He's a Silver Knight. Why can't I think of his name now?
Oh, Spikes.
No, higher level Silver Knight. See, this is what's happened. He's become such a non-issue in the league this second season. We've completely forgotten his name.
Glaw.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he had got himself in a lot of trouble first season, and actually apologized to the admins. Was like, "Hey, I'm really sorry. This isn't a part of you guys' job. I know you don't want to do this kind of thing." And
he was always good for 1 or 2 penalties too, but he's improved in that sense.
I think he settled it down the second season.
Yeah, he had to come to Jesus with him. So another guy in the C League, I think he plays in the 40 you and I talked about. I'm just going to call him Eggplant Emoji Son.
Eggplant Emoji Son.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Definitely one to get, one in the P box. And then the other one, I'm just going to say, I'm going to say another person, air quotes, Superman. What's Superman's
that's a really bad
ego.
I get it. Yeah.
Not everyone's gonna get it. Not everyone's gonna get it.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Well, then can I just say what Superman's alter ego is?
Public enemy number 1.
Oh yeah, we'll do with that. Eminem, if you will.
Public enemy number 1.
Eminem, definitely good for.
Definitely most likely to land himself in the penalty box. 100%.
Yep.
Not his fault.
That's not a great reputation to have. It's nothing to wear
a
badge on your shoulder and be proud of, for sure.
No. I don't think we actually have any in the A-League. I think the A-League was pretty quiet for the most part, and I don't think there was a ton in the B-League either. So that's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you have any more? I got a bazillion still. I got some good ones. Cool.
Most likely to blame the admins for all of your woes.
Again, we'll go with Eminem.
Okay.
And then we will also go with my fondue boo.
You said it, not me.
Well, that's my last one. I was saving the best for last. Mine was most likely to remind that your team is top notch.
Most likely to remind me
most
of teams.
most likely to remind you that your A-League team is top notch and every Zeros team is just donkey piss.
Doo
Yeah,
water.
watered down gin
Water
and juice.
poo. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with my fondue boo because I honestly don't think there's been a game day that I didn't hear about it. And then
The admins got blamed by the Boys Town version of the Colorado Avalanche in our B League.
speaking of, Toronto just scored.
Speaking of Boys Town,
Yes.
yeah, so definitely got accused of being the problem for all that. I'm trying to see who else blamed me for all of their woes. Eggplant Emoji Son blamed the admins some
Yeah.
for their
Yeah,
woes.
yeah.
It was the admin's fault for not understanding what was going on. Let's see who else. Basically, if you're a captain of a team, you probably blame the admins for some of your woes. It's the
I wanted to be
captain's
I wanted
fault.
to be left out of that one. I never blamed you.
That's why I
Even
said
if
if
I
you're a
did.
captain.
So I'm not a captain?
Oh, that's right. You captained the 40-plus team. No, you didn't blame me for anything, though. So
I captained the B League too. I didn't really
That's true.
I didn't blame you. Wow, I didn't do a good job at all. If you, the two teams that you and I play on together.
we talk all the time. I forget that you're the captain of that.
Jeez. I'll go fuck myself. Cool.
That just big boyed you. Wait, you're a captain? For
Yeah,
real?
yes.
Is that why you're in those group chats?
Jeez.
Oh, man.
Thanks
No,
a lot, guys.
Let's see. I did have
What a
did I have
loser.
another one?
All right, while you're looking like
No,
All right,
I
go
don't know
ahead.
if I could do this one. It's kind of aggressive.
send it to
Write
me.
this on
Send
my
it to me,
phone.
and then I'll just throw it out there. Just send it to me. I'll throw it out. I don't know. This might be the same as a latter guy. Is there anyone that you just like? I don't even like that one. I was going to say, who do you look forward to most seeing at the rink? I think you just see everybody. I really look forward to just seeing everybody in the everybody. Like because you it becomes a habit and a routine. You run into the same people all the time.
Yeah.
Like
I
love.
like seeing the guys. I love
Yes.
seeing the guys that we travel with.
Yes.
Even we're not playing on the same team. It's nice
Yeah.
to get to play against them a little bit and give them crap. I had a blast when we got to do. Where were we playing? So I love seeing some of the guys that that played in C League and like did some of the learn to skate stuff. I think some of them still do it, and they've gotten a little bit better. So they're playing in 40 plus, and I enjoyed playing in some of the consolation game stuff,
Yep.
like with Doug Waters and playing. We played against Sprints for something. I forget what. If it was, I think maybe it was I picked up and filled in for somebody. I think that's what I did. And yeah, that's right. I filled in for the Ice Hogs, and Sprints was filling in for the Griffins. And so Sprints carried the puck in, and I rubbed him out along the boards and laughed at him, and he just laughed and laughed. And then he chased me behind the net one time in that same game, and I got him going one way and then put it back between his feet the other way, and he just laughed and laughed and laughed again. So he was fun. It's fun playing with the guys. Like I enjoy getting to skate and hang out with you and Rob and Pete on the couple teams we got to skate with. Again, the second
Yeah, because
season,
the ones that I'm a captain on, right?
I think so. Is that what you do on those teams? And so yeah, I enjoy skating. Like I said, Rob and Pete got pretty busy the second season and couldn't make
Yeah.
near as many games as the first. But it's a lot of fun. Probably one of the best moments. All the Play-Doh stuff was hilarious. I know you hate it, but it's you're the guy that gives everybody crap. And
I
so-
do not. I do not.
so
I'm very
you
tight-lipped. I
do.
keep my
Bull.
thoughts to
Bull.
myself,
Bull.
and that's something I was gonna just say too. I met a lot of people that I knew of some people. Like I knew of Pepper, right? But I never really got a chance to just hang out with him because him and I always played on opposite teams. I regret meeting him this year. I regret knowing him the last half of the season. Like he's one of my favorite players. I played with him on his line. I enjoy playing with him on his line, but I absolutely regret drafting him. We are going to have him on a podcast this summer. We talked about that. I regret even asking him and making a commitment to that. I'm just kidding, Pepper. I love you, dude. You're a good dude. I really
No, it
appreciate
was the B League wasn't a bad makeup of guys. I think there were some good guys in there. And again, it was still kind of a 50-50 mix of guys that were kind of just along for the ride a little bit, and guys that kind of really got the vibe and rolled with it. The best was, I don't remember if it was a 40 or if it was a B League locker room, but Pete, and Rob were all we were in the smaller, like the dressing room locker rooms, and we were all in like the front locker room
Yep. It was
getting dressed, and Pete was trying to put his jock on, and I think he got one foot in and he started to put the next foot in, tripped, and he goes face down in Rob's bag. So it looks like a little triangle with Pete's butt cheeks sticking straight up in the air, and Pete's just laying there and can't move. It's like he stepped on his hands. It was probably one of the funniest moments in
that game. I was calling him butt cheek, like that. That whole. That's how fun. That's the fun. Like he had the puck, and I would just yell butt cheek, butt cheek. I'm gonna miss that. And I can't wait for like
Yeah.
other tournaments for that to happen. I feel
think-
like I need pictures of Rob in his butt cheek.
That's gross. I think what made probably those we didn't have as good a caliber player across the board on our B and our 40 plus teams is what we needed, and so I think I enjoy playing with my brother. Like it's something I haven't gotten to do in a long time, so it was nice. It is a little frustrating at times because ice hockey's not really his jam, and so he's on a pretty steep learning curve here, especially as we step up in level of play and all. Yeah, so, but yeah, it's been fun skating with him.
You're right.
And so,
My bad.
but
My bad.
us not winning as much, the product on the ice probably made us suffer a little bit as far as how we enjoy playing with guys. But I think that's why we really locked onto the guys that are really good locker room guys, more so than guys that like
Where we
played
lacked
with.
in stats, we made up in dick and balls.
Probably not in quality of those, but more like
No, not like
we're willing
length
to
and
talk
size,
about
but
them.
more
Yeah, we're just willing to
Yes,
talk
yes,
about them
yes.
and share them.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we're not sharing them, like passing them. Well, yeah, I guess we did pass them around. You know, like and that was another thing that we did on Monday
It was
when
a
it was
good
the
regular
the
arts
travel-
and crafts expo in the B League locker room.
the when we did the GSU versus the Zeros travel, hanging out in the parking lot was probably the most fun.
Well,
Like,
that bench was a lot of fun too.
from the get go. Like, and I said the most fun I've ever had playing up to that point was the Corey skate. That Monday skate was probably the most fun that I've ever had playing down here. It was a blast, a blast. And I can't wait to do it again. So, I got another one. All right.
Okay.
Who do you think is most passionate about the game?
Most passionate, like I'm taking my ball and going home if we're not winning, passionate, or most passionate, like just
Just
try
love for the
hard?
game. No. We don't have. Look, we're already an hour in, and that's probably because of my internet. But it's been working. Knock on wood. If we did like the tryhards, who we don't. That's a whole nother podcast to name drop that. So who do you think just loves the game and just loves playing and just passionate about the game? You know, looks forward to playing.
Sprints is probably the most
Brents
passionate
is
guy
for
I know.
sure. Yes, like him, like at the beginning of the season when the four of us went to Zunzi's, we said, I'm so glad hockey's back because in the summertime you go through seasonal depression. I've already had it now since there's summers here and there's hockey's coming to an end. I think
We just call that allergies in this area.
it is depressing when hockey is gone. It's just, it sucks. It absolutely sucks.
He's probably the most
Like hockey is life. He's the hockey is life guy, right?
I mean, for crying out loud, he just bought his wife a brand new pair of skates just cause.
For what reason, right? Just because
Yeah,
he wanted to
just
buy new
'cause.
gear.
Yeah,
Yes.
like, hey, here you go. I mean, we love to bag on the guy, but he's at the rink a lot and he serves in a bunch of capacities, even with the Ghost Pirates. So he really, really, really likes the game, and that's one Michael Spikes.
He is, yeah,
He's pretty passionate about it.
for sure.
If some of that passion could be converted into skill and talent,
And knowledge of the game.
Yeah, that might be helpful.
Yeah. I would say
I mean, I can say the
Marola.
same thing about sprints too, though. If sprints' love could be turned into a little more talent, I'd be appreciative.
Just move your
Just
feet.
move your feet for
Just move
crying
your
out
feet.
loud, dog. Like, I'm gonna go get that puck. I'm gonna stop skating 30 feet before I get there, though, because I'm nervous about falling over.
Toronto
Just
just
fall
scored
over.
again.
Sprints, you're wearing a whole bunch of equipment. Just go fall over.
I would say this might be a little bit more of a obsession, but Iwanski, because he has like a pair of skates for every team.
He's a different.
Yeah, is that no, like a healthy, unhealthy obsession, or is it
That's
just
like
because he's got
that's
deep
like Zach
pockets?
Berlin. That's like Zach
Yes.
Berlin. Like I have different sticks for different leagues, different skates for different teams.
Yeah, Marola's pretty passionate about the game, but I think that's because it's part of his
He gets paid
business.
to do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, he loves the sport as much as he tells you, I hate this league, I hate playing here. He loves it because he plays in like 3 different leagues, and
Yeah. I think we could run down the list all of the kids coaches that play in the leagues and coach in the leagues.
yep,
The Pete Rossies, the Tom McNamara's, the Barry Peppers, Josh Packards, all of those guys. And there's other guys that help volunteer coach and all too. But I would say all those guys are pretty passionate about the
growing the
league.
sport.
Well, yeah, because they're so adamant about helping with the kids and stuff. And so I would say they're pretty passionate about the sport because of that.
Or you want to keep going? I'm liking this. I'm liking this. As you're just watching and not paying attention. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Best defenseman in the B League. Best defenseman. No, you don't want to do that. I was gonna say best
Go
defenseman
ahead.
offense, and I don't really. I mean, the best defenseman I think would probably be Rossi for sure. Maybe his Doppler dangler Radic. Those are probably the two most have the most
Yeah, but
effect
those
on
aren't
how
really
the game
fair.
can
Those
play out.
are A league guys. I wouldn't
All
really
right.
qualify
Okay.
those guys as a B league player. I would say Johnny Mack is probably one of the better D guys. That's an actual B
Yep.
level player.
Lindsay's brother. I don't know his last name. I just know him.
Doug Newton.
He's pretty decent.
Doug's
Okay,
good.
yeah, he's pretty decent.
They got a guy Mike Nadeau. I think they converted him up to a winger, but he was a very good defender. Trying to think. Jules DeGay is a good defender. I hate
Green
playing
helmet
against
on
him.
the green helmet on the Griffins.
That's Mike
Yeah.
Nadeau. Jules DeGay plays for the Spoonbills. He's the older guy, left-hander that plays for them. Super heavy stick, very old school, like latches and grabs, clutch and grab guy. I hate playing against him because of that. Like I just try to, gee, Manetti's, your internet sucks. Yeah, so that's a tough defender to play against. I can't think of any. We're gonna get Abdu back in here. We're probably gonna cut the podcast because it's been stupid long, largely because of his internet being a huge pain in the butt. There he is. He's
So
back.
this is the last time I'm going to mention Ahmed Adoudi. Apparently, Ahmed Adoudi really just
Is janked up your internet.
hacked my internet. Yeah,
All right, we're gonna save.
apologize,
any more,
Al. Kinda.
Yeah, we're gonna save any more superlatives for another podcast because this is just a butt whooping with your thing going in and out all the time. So we're already an hour. No big deal. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry.
Hold up 2 fingers if there's a man in the corner and he's trying to do inappropriate things to you. Yeah, there it is. All right.
It's
Folks.
Pepper. It's Pepper.
It's Barry Pepper. Oh, man. All right, guys. That's it for us for now. Thanks for tuning in. We'll have another podcast soon. Like I said, our league is ending, so we will have lots more time to shoot podcasts. So we will.
And then hopefully I can get this shit figured out. For fuck's sake, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, everybody.
Jeez,
I'm just as pissed off. So, again, it's Ahmed. I'll never mention Al again, or Ahmed, or Tal, Eban.
all right. All right. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We love you. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Goodbye, everybody.
Stupid.
Bye.